very strongly, so it is very demanding nowadays, what I should say from the stage. First of all, thank you very much for all of you to come to Poznan and to join this forum. And it is very significant that we are having in the Balkan process, in the Berlin process, we are having this Balkan summit, which is predecessor to the three very important meetings. The first one that took place here yesterday, which gathered together all the think tanks from our region, both from the whole 16 countries that joined the initiative. So it is very good and inspiring when the free people from the social circles can exchange the approach. Today we are having also the leaders from our 16 countries and the partners from the Western Balkans, which are exchanging the experience and create the bridges. And today is something very important from my perspective, which is the business forum. And this is thanks to Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Szymon Szynkowski-Walseng, who bring to us with the idea to arrange this meeting in this format, and which the idea was to come here to Poznan. It is really very important city in Poland in terms of Polish entrepreneurship. We are exactly in the heart of the Polish entrepreneurship. And even in the 19th century, when Poland were not being presented on the European map, the entrepreneurial spirit and the entrepreneurial soul of the people from this region will help them to survive, not only in the biological terms, but also to create a new state after the First World War. So it is really very nice that we are having this meeting exactly in this place. So, but at the heart of the Berlin process, the same as it used to be in the 50s when we create the European communities, economy and business cooperation is nowadays in the heart of the process. We are fully aware that the use of the business people, and I am very glad that we are having more than 300 representatives from the business side, from the 16 countries and the 16 partners formulating the Berlin process, joining and meeting here today. So, from the inception of the European communities in the 50s and the Berlin process in 2014, establishing partners always believed that the main way to move forward closer cooperation, also on the various fields, is to build prosperity and growth together. So we are gathering here to bring the better condition for life and the better life standard together in joint collaboration. So why is it so important? From my perspective is, and when we learn the lessons that have been learned in the 20th century, is that business brings peace and stabilization. And this is a general truth about the European community, and this is the experience and the lessons that we want to share with the Western Balkans. Entrepreneurs and their companies and your companies are the most efficient diplomatic service worldwide. It is always true. You can recognize the country, you can always remember about the country once you have the products or services which brings you back to the country where they came from. And we are fully aware of that, and having been involved deeply since 30 years in a deep transformation, both on the political level but also on the economic one, how important is and how a big advocacy for the changes is our entrepreneurs. So, and thanks to their effort, thanks to your effort, the trade exchange between the European Union and the Western Balkans in the last decade have doubled in a number and has doubled in a size. And I am very proud that Poland is absolutely in the forefront in this growth because from our perspective we even tripled the exchange. Also, we are having still a very ambitious plan for the future. If we take into account the whole region, the whole Western Balkan region, you are nowadays our 26th trade partner. So it is not that bad. Sometimes you can think that 26 in another front, but still you are far in front, for instance, comparing with the Canadian economy. So you are simply the more important for our economy than the Canadian. But we are really willing to improve this exchange in the coming years. Our job is, as Marco said, we are trying to follow rather than to create. So you are definitely most creative people. So this is not the politicians. So our role is simply to aid you in facing this future, because the future is very challenging. Not only in terms, in political terms, as Mr. Commissioner has mentioned, and also as Jacek, Minister of Foreign Affairs, has mentioned at the beginning, but also in terms of the economic transition and transformation. We are facing with huge changes and challenges. This is not only the 4.0 revolution, but also this is the question we should answer, how to maintain and how to keep the role of the global leader. We, as the Europe, need to bring those answers as soon as possible. Since last decade, we simply lost this position. So that is why this political approach, which is still the main feature for the European Union, which makes this entity still attractive, is to be able to enlarge. So the key political message that should come out from the Poznan is that yes, European Union do understand the processes and is ready to deliver and to bring not only the hope, not only the light touch bonds, but the real perspective for the enlargement. But what is really very important from our perspective, let me bring our experience to this stage. When we started to apply to be a member state of the European Union, we started to do it from the economic point of view. It was in my city town in Krakow, south part of Poland, when the CEFTA, so the free trade area, has been established for the Central European countries. How important was it? Let me bring the example of the Czech Republic, for instance, which is still one of the key trade partners for Poland. And the CEFTA, the former CEFTA, the region, is still the biggest partner, for instance, for the German economy. It is still a bigger partner than Russia or China. So the bonds, the close bonds that you can create together inside are still very, very important. So to deep your free trade zone is one of the key challenges that you should face with, and then we can assess, then we can help, and then we can share our experience, how it is important. So that would be the first point I would like to stress. And I'm also, as I mentioned, we are facing a lot of challenges regarding the revolution, the economic revolution. And one of them, of course, is the digital one, and that is very significant, from my perspective, very important, that on 1st July, an outcome of Western Balkan regional integration is the roaming agreement which entered into the force. And as I mentioned, the free flow of people, free flow of services is extremely important, but the free flow of data is a sign of the contemporary economy, and that is very good that we are having this outcome. The first outcome is regarding the roaming. So today we want to focus on fundamentals, on bringing business together. And I would like to thank once again those 300 entrepreneurs from 16 Berlin process partners. So you are representing the most dynamic sectors of the economy. We've got both energy and new energy businesses, but also IT and banking and agri-tech. And why is it that important? I remember also the path of the transition that Poland has faced with since 1989. We've been underdeveloped in so many areas that at the very beginning we feel that we cannot catch up the very expensive, very rich, well-developed Western regions. But in those underdeveloped areas, and maybe because we were underdeveloped in some of them, we are nowadays the leaders in some places. Let me bring the example of the financial sector. So it is not maybe because we don't have a checkbooks before in the 80s, 70s and 60s, We were very easily adopted the cashless proposals and the payment standards, which are nowadays being recognized as the most modern and most technologically advanced ever. And the offer which we bring here, together with the Polish banking system, to the Balkan country, to the Balkan partners, Western Balkan partners, is to establish a partnership in introducing this new financial business models. It is the biggest Polish bank, PKO BP, who offer and who asked me to offer the special workshop that we can arrange wherever you want, whenever you want, in bringing the standard